Keishan's. What? Wait, you put me on the spot.
Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by my office today. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I actually have a physical visitor in my office. I'm excited. Her name is
Lois, and I'm Keishan's best friend from high school.
Yes, so I am so happy to be able to have her here. Lois also has a YouTube channel and her link will be in the description box down below. But today is actually a very special video because we're going to talk about a mental illness that we both share in common, and that is depression. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. The purpose of this video is to help people to understand that depression has many different faces. There's so many different ways that persons can experience depression, and today we're going to hear more from Lois's experience. Maybe I will chime in a little bit about my experience as well, but we hope that you are informed. We hope that you are inspired, even for persons out there who are as well suffering from depression. We just hope that this video will be able to help you and inform everyone about depression. So we will begin. So Lois, what does depression look like to you?
Well, for me, depression can look like this: just being happy, smiling, being out there, but deep on the inside, there are dark moments, alone moments, moments when I feel so terrible, but you just have to put on this bright look to make it seem as though you're okay, but deep down inside, there are many issues there.
Do you believe that depression is something that has like one face for everyone?
No, I don't believe that depression has one face, for everyone, because like I said, you can look happy, but then there are people who can look not happy and lay in bed all the time, who just can't handle what they're facing. So it might be someone looking like me, a professional, and then it might be not so professional looking.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And even on the topic of what depression is, a lot of people don't understand that depression isn't just sadness. It's not just about feeling sad. And people often confuse depression and sadness, and people often overuse the word depression. Oh my gosh, I'm so depressed. I didn't get ice cream today. I wanted pizza and I didn't get pizza today. I am depressed. I failed an exam today. I am depressed. And I'm not saying that these things aren't things that can cause a person to be depressed, but there are persons who might just be feeling a little bit down or disappointed because something didn't work out for them the way they wanted it, and then they think, or they like to say that they're depressed. But depression isn't just feeling sad. You can feel sad without being depressed, and you can also be depressed without feeling sad or feeling anything at all. I don't think there's one clear-cut definition for what depression is, because depression is so many things to so many people. For me, when I was depressed, like Lois, persons didn't even know, because I would go out wherever I was going and I would try to put on a very normal face, try to be my usual self. I mean, to some extent, people could notice that there were things that would have been off about me. I was less social and so on. But for me, in public, I would put on a very happy face, or at least a presentable face. But behind closed doors, it was nothing like that. People would have never known that that very day was a struggle for me to even get out of bed. I didn't even want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I didn't want to talk to anybody. You didn't want to see anyone. Like, people would not have known. So depression has many faces, and people would experience it in different types of ways. When did you first realize that you were depressed?
For me, it started when I kept asking myself, why is it that my parents were not around? Why is it that I used to ask myself if they wanted me, or did I do something wrong for them not to be around. So it started there for me, and then it just kept on going and going and going.
So was there a particular point in time where you're like, okay, something is definitely wrong with me, I am depressed? Like, did you know that you were experiencing depression?
I didn't know that it was depression. I knew that there was something wrong because I was alone more than the normal teenager would be alone. I cried more than I think the normal teenager should, and you know, I stopped eating at points in my teenage years. So I had suicidal thoughts. I did weird things. I was angry a lot. So I knew there was something wrong, but I could not like put a face to what it was. So yeah.
Okay, so when did you realize that it actually was depression?
To be honest, until I started pharmacy school, to be honest, because then I was able to recognize, okay, we did depression as an entire like course. So I could identify with much of this stuff that my lecturer was talking about, and then I was like, hey, I have these problems. And along with that, I also recognize that I'm a very anxious person. I suffer with anxiety. So yeah, it started there for me.
I did not know that I was depressed all the time. Just like you, it was when I would have started courses in psychology that would have helped me to understand, so this is what happens. Because I would have thought that depression was also just feeling sad, right?
Like mad people that I thought that was my first.
So I noticed that I had become withdrawn. I really wasn't myself, but I was also not able to explain it to others. Because one, they might not have understood what depression is actually about. So I can't remember the very moment I realized I was depressed, but it was just after, you know, having become like educated on the whole issue. That's when it clicked for me. Oh, I actually do have
relate to what is
a problem. Did you tell anyone what you were going through?
For me, even though I could relate to what I was being taught at university, it was like I classified it as a stigma, so I didn't really reach out to anyone. I just internalized every single thing, and like you, I internalized stuff and I just keep them there and let them make me angry. So yeah, I didn't reach out to anyone. It's only recently that I started like taking active measures to like deal with what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, and I'm glad you actually mentioned that, you know, you felt like it was a stigma, because generally with mental illnesses, a lot of people are actually ashamed or afraid to open up about it because of this stigma. But mental illnesses, they are as serious as a physical illness, and there's really nothing to be ashamed of. Like, there's nothing, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. And it's important for you to understand that and try to seek help before it's too late, because there are a lot of people who are actually overcome by depression, and you know, the story doesn't end well for them. So I would always encourage people to at least try to find somebody to talk to, somebody that you could trust, and try to open up. And that's advice even for myself, because I still have a struggle with opening up about depression. If
I could interject, another moment for me was I sat and I thought to myself a little after I graduated. I was like, if patients come to me and they're experiencing this and I can't be true to myself that I am also experiencing it, I will not give them the kind of service that they need, because I will be lying to myself.
Yeah. How did people respond to it? How did your friends and family respond?
Well, I've reached out to my girlfriends. I've reached out to you and some other girls that, you know, I can message at any time. I've also reached out to some family members. Not everyone understands what depression is. Some people might think, oh, you want attention and so on. But my girlfriends have been very good. Blessings. I actually got information on where I can go to get help for depression. I have counselors that I can talk to. I have people that, like I said, I can message at any time of the night. People that are there for me, that send me, you know, things to make me laugh when I say, okay, I'm having an attack, or I feel as though I'm going to go into this depressive mode. I can just message them. And
do you remember your point of breakthrough, like your point where you're like, okay, I need to do something about this, I can't allow this to keep me down?
I actually do. It came this time last year. Somebody who I love very much, they told me that I was broken and that they don't like broken girls. And I pondered upon that phrase, that little sentence, for a very long time, and it impacted me. And I decided, you know what if it is actually possible that I might be broken, and yes, this person might mean it in a bad way, but suppose I take it and I make it into something good and actually see, okay, I'm broken, what can I do to fix this? So I have developed coping mechanisms to fix it, and I'm not saying that I'm not dealing with it and just coping with it. I am dealing with it, but to say that for instance, YouTube has done such good things for me, because I internalize things on a very deep level, and just to talk and to know that I can express myself, I am letting out what I have trapped on the inside. So
it's just interesting how this happened. I can remember exactly when it happened too. It was a Monday. It was a Monday afternoon for me, but for that entire day, I think that's when I had reached my lowest point of depression, to the point where I was questioning why I'm even still on the face of this earth. And I kept having thoughts all day, and I've never exactly expounded on it, but I kept having thoughts all day like, Keishan, why are you still here? You know, and literally I heard in my head, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like, kill yourself. Just it doesn't even mean, like, life is not making sense right now and it's not getting better. Just kill yourself. Like, are you even going to be missed? And it's kind of crazy because people might think, but Keishan, you got so many friends, like, why would you not be missed? Like, you got a great family. And I do. I have a wonderful family, and I have a wonderful support group of friends and people from church. Like, I do have love, but when you are depressed, you might not be thinking rationally. All of the worst thoughts come. So for me, people might be like, oh my gosh, this Christian girl, how you could even be thinking about suicide and them kinds of things.
But
Depression.
The demons, they leach into your mind, and they keep dropping little things, little hints.
Sowing seeds.
Nobody will miss you, nobody will love you, you're ugly, you're fat, your acne, your lips. Do this to yourself, do this to that person.
So I had that moment, and I knew it was specifically a Monday because we have women's prayer fellowship at church on Monday afternoon, and I got up and I went to prayer meeting with mommy. She didn't even know what I was going through, but I said, I'm gonna go to prayer meeting. Even if I don't pray, even if I don't say anything, even if I just sit there, I'm going to go there, because that's where I know I could find the presence of God. I know I could find strength. I know I could find support. And I went there that afternoon. I didn't say anything. I didn't pray. I didn't do anything. But I just felt the transformation between the time I got there and the time I got home. That was it. That's when I had my breakthrough, and I'm so thankful for that moment, because it helped me to understand that I am worth it. You know, my life is worth it, and I could overcome anything again with the strength and power of Christ. So that was my moment. Would you say that your depression is something that you have completely overcome? Is it something that you still deal with?
I battle it every day. It's, you have to take it in little spoonfuls, because sometimes you're good for an entire week, you might be good for an entire month, and then suddenly one day, oof, it comes right back to you. So I am currently in the process of handling it on a daily basis as it comes. I have developed mechanisms where, you know, I can feel depressed, but not to the extent that it used to be.
Yeah, I agree with that, because even for me, it's still a constant struggle. Like every day is a struggle, not just with myself, because I've mentioned this before and I'm going to keep mentioning it, and it's the same for Lois. We are Christians, and that makes a huge difference for us, because we rely on the strength of God. It's not something that we can overcome by ourselves. So for me, my coping mechanism has been to try to keep active, not allow myself to stay in bed for too long. Just try to keep doing something, to keep my mind off negative thoughts, to just, you know, just keep busy. Because for me, when I was depressed, I had reached a point I just reached this point where I did not do anything. I was in bed for most of the day. I might come out, you know, to maybe get something to eat if I felt like eating. And these are things that people in my house didn't even know. They just didn't, because I kept it to myself, and I kept this regular face on, just try to go about things as normal as possible. So like, because I know what depression looks like for me, because I know that depression means staying in bed all day, I try not to stay in bed. I try to avoid staying in bed for too long and so on, just to try to keep myself active, because it is a constant battle.
Well, there is the Mental Health Institute
unit. Yeah.
I have friends that are actually counselors, so I can reach out to them. I use a lot of YouTube videos. I listen to a lot of motivational videos. That started my healing for me. A lot of motivational Christian videos, a lot of motivational videos that are not Christian but are positive videos. I listen to a lot of inspirational music. I write, and YouTube is a great therapeutic mechanism for me. And I also try new things, and check out my video with Kishan that I'm going to do a mukbang, and wake up to Marvin for his brownies that we'll be trying in my mukbang. So if you want to see that, Kishan will link my video in the description box.
Yeah, I'm sorry if y'all saw me looking down. The brownies are in front of us. Can't wait, because Lois has me starving through this video.
Yes, because we need to
go to the other way. But yes, so even on the topic of food for depression, I know some people might feel guilty if they indulge, because food is actually something that helps people. It helps people to feel better. So for me, if you feel that you need ice cream or a brownie or something, or pizza, whatever it is that you need,
makeup, whatever you need
to help you feel better, then utilize it. You eat it. Just ensure that you do it in moderation.
Just stop.
Don't overdo it. Yeah, but if you feel that you find comfort in food sometimes, just go ahead. It's fine. Just know how to
find a balance. An exhale in food, not comfort. I don't want people to think, you know, you just eat and eat and eat.
Yeah.
Just use it as, you know,
yeah.
a relief.
What can we do? What can Guyana do to improve our resources?
Well, the first thing, I think that we should stop seeing it as a stigma. We should stop stigmatizing people who suffer from mental illness. Many of the people who are on the streets of Guyana, they are mentally ill. Yeah. We often refer to them as mad people, but those people once look like you, once look like me, once look like you.
Yeah.
And because they were not exposed to the resources that might probably have prevented them from being that person who they are today, they are left like that. So we can start by stop stigmatizing it, allowing the conversation in our homes to be free about, mommy, I'm depressed, daddy, I'm depressed, best friend, I'm depressed, miss, I'm depressed, workmates, I'm depressed. And we shouldn't laugh at people who express those feelings, because you never know, you might be between that person saving their life or committing suicide.
Yeah,
So,
that is so true. That is so true. We definitely need to work on the stigma. That is like one of the prime reasons we have like a lot of mental illnesses going either untreated, or people just don't have any idea because they're not educated.
let's say you put all these hospitals and counselors and psychiatrists and psychologists in place. Nobody will want to use them
Yeah.
because it's a stigma.
Yeah,
right?
we need to
And
normalize.
we as Guyanese need to work on that.
What would be your words of encouragement to someone who is suffering from depression or any other mental illness?
Well, I'm very passionate about mentorship in women, but I will speak on a broader platform and speak to everyone, whether or not you're a woman or a man. I'd like to say that if you're going through depressive episodes, regardless if you are a doctor, a priest, a pastor, if you're a minister, a president, it's okay to tell somebody, it's okay to feel those thoughts, because in reality it can happen to anyone. Depression does not have a face, and it happens to the best of us, the strongest of us, and the richest of us. It doesn't have a face. So speak out, let someone know, get the help you need. Don't be afraid to get help. No matter what anyone says, it's your life and you are in charge of it. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Lois, for
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me.
I was so happy to have you. If you have any interest in knowing anything else about depression or mental illnesses in general, follow my Instagram page. I will leave the name right at the bottom. Also, if you haven't subscribed, and I see that there are a lot of people who view these videos but they're not subscribed, please subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much again for watching, and please remember to become informed on the matters of mental health, because your mental health matters.